If your actions are to lean on DEI every chance you get, to point out some supposed discrepancy between white individuals and minorities who got jobs as it pertains to their qualifications and their intellect and their resume and their accomplishments, you don't think that's gonna compromise peace? You don't think that's gonna create chaos?
Stephen A. Smith, hey, what are you doing? What are you saying? He promised? He promised? Are you really like that high school girl that was like, but he promised that he would be with me forever. He promised me. Look at the promise ring he gave me. Steve, is that all you're basing Trump's administration and his future actions off of promises? Okay, so when it comes to people who voted for Trump, okay, like it feels like this is a separate conversation, okay? Because if you voted for Trump, knowing who he is, knowing what he's going to do, you are not surprised by nothing. You are one of the people that you paid for this and you want whatever he's going to bring to you. This conversation is not for you because you know what you're getting yourself into, which is fine. If you want to suffer and continue to complain about things, go for it. Or if you're a millionaire or billionaire and you're just making hand over fist like who we're about to be talking about, you're fine. You're okay with dealing with another Trump 4 years. But my question for the people who voted for Trump, okay? Trump is in office. He won. Okay, hey, we got that. But now you're trying to like have this conversation, and I'm hearing this from like Stephen A. Smith, of course, Chris Cuomo, and a lot of these like people who want to make their career by sitting on the fence, by not being able to take a stand on something that matters, but they just want to play the fence. They're having this conversation of now Trump has an opportunity to be a man of the people or to do some sort of good for his legacy, or he has a chance. Hey, this is the funny part. He has a chance to unite Americans. Wait, I mean, off of what proof? I mean, when has Trump ever demonstrated anything like that? When has Trump united anyone in America that weren't just one color? I mean, it's just kind of weird how they elect him and now expect for him to do something different, for him to do something outside of his character. I mean, damn. I mean, Trump has been in the political conversation for about, 10 years? And he's been very consistent on who he is. So once again, why are people not believing who he is? You think his second term, he's going to wake up in the White House and say, well, damn, I think I need to unite all Americans, black, white, brown, yellow, and anything in between. Oh man, maybe I should create policies that's going to actually benefit the common American. Maybe I should treat people and talk to people, marginalize people like they're humans. Let me care about my legacy. What idiot told you that? I mean, Stephen A. Smith. I mean, now it seems like you're trying to moonwalk your way out of the situation that you're in. Because given the fact, after 2 weeks he's been in office, you can't make excuses for that. So now we're about to watch Stephen A. Smith moonwalk his ass out of the trouble that he wanted. Oh my gosh, man. And it's frustrating. But guess what? This is what we have to deal with. But before we get into the video, let's hear from today's sponsor, Aura. All right, so I got a question for you. Do you value your privacy and your security? And especially with all your information being accessible to anyone and everyone on the internet? Well, I'm excited to bring to you today's sponsor of this video, Aura. There was approximately 800,000 reports of identity theft in the first 3 quarters of 2024 alone. Credit card fraud remains the most prevalent form of identity theft, with about 300,000 cases reported. And the United States continues to experience numerous of data breaches throughout various industries, compromising your financial and personal information, just like millions across America. Aura is the all-in-one digital security solution that protects your identity, finances, and personal information online. With Aura, you get real-time alerts for suspicious activity, VPN protection to keep your browsing private, and even dark web monitoring just to see if your information is out there where it shouldn't be. So once again, stop leaving yourself vulnerable to data breaches. Click the sponsor link down below to get 14 days free to see if your information, your data has been exposed. Back to the video.
I'm reading from an article by Jason L. Riley in the Wall Street Journal. I want to read a couple of paragraphs that he wrote in this article because I want you to understand what he's saying. When I brought up the part about Kamala Harris, the difference between MAGA right and swing voters, here's what Jason Riley said. The distinction matters. Trump loyalists don't care if the president pardons January 6 protesters who assaulted police officers after he condemned George Floyd protesters who assaulted police officers. It doesn't concern them that Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the president's nominee for Secretary of Health and Human Services, declared as recently as 2023 that, quote, there's no vaccine that's safe and effective, end quote. They're not bothered that he yanked security protection for former key advisors involved in planning the lethal drone strike on Iran's leading terrorist, Qasem Soleimani. Not because it's no longer needed, but because he simply doesn't like them anymore. Mr. Trump can't be confident that all his supporters will ignore such rank hypocrisy, foolishness, and petty behavior. Quote, the threat to anyone involved in President Trump's strike on Soleimani is persistent. It's real, Senator Tom Cotton, Republican out of Arkansas, said, chairman of the Intelligence Committee and a strong Trump ally. That's what he said on Fox News Sunday last weekend. Moreover, it's not just about these men who helped President Trump carry out his policy in the first term. It's about their family and friends, innocent bystanders every time they're in public. It's also about the president being able to get good people and get good advice. He ain't listening. He appears back to his old ways.
I mean, are we surprised? Hey, Stephen A. Smith, I better not hear from the rest of this video you sounding surprised. And guess what? I done watched this once already. So here's a spoiler. He's going to be surprised. Oh my God. What is going on here? All that forehead, all that, the nice shirt. I'm pretty sure that shirt is probably like 50, 60, 80 bucks. That's probably a real expensive tie. You know what I'm saying? You got a beautiful setup. And you're just as dumb as a MAGA supporter. Make that make sense. It doesn't matter how much money an individual has. You can't buy common sense. And this guy proves it. Sweet God. All right, man. Hey, we are just a few seconds in. I promise you we're going to make it through this video, baby.
What has he learned? And so now, if you're the Democratic Party, why am I bringing this up? Because you have a perfect opportunity. Suddenly, it's not about woke culture. It's not about cancel culture. It's not about proper pronouns and all of this. Now we getting into the hearts of the real issues. My man Roland Martin was on his show just the other day talking about civil rights legislation in 1964 and how you've got folks within the Trump administration trying to roll that back 60 years of progress.
Hey, Stephen A. Smith. Hey, okay, I'm going to try not to be yelling throughout this whole video, because you're already yelling. So both of us yelling is not going to make anyone want to listen. Okay, we warned you about that. We warned you that he would have the potential to do things like this. Because if you look back at the civil rights movement, they were fighting for affirmative action. And it didn't benefit black folks. It benefited all kind of people. But affirmative action is just another version of DEI. So if they didn't like DEI, what makes you think they're going to like anything about the civil rights movement or any legislation that was put through by the civil rights movement? Hey, Stephen A. Smith, maybe you should have been having these conversations, these questions, these concerns before the election. And don't lie to me saying, oh, I'm an Indian. He's going to do it. But hey, nobody believes that you voted for Harris. Oh, trust me, nobody. You ain't fooling yourself. Look, your hairline don't want nothing to do with your lying. We know that. You can't fool me. But hey, maybe this should have been a conversation before he gets into office. Now he's in office. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Make some YouTube videos saying, oh, Democrats need to? Democrats. Oh, Trump, that's a shame. You think he's listening to you? He doesn't care about your black ass. Oh, my God, man. Let's continue. Hey. Go ahead, Stephen A. Smith. Sorry to cut you off.
That's what you have minorities in this country fearing right now. That was the agenda all along. And they're pointing to these things. And it should make the Democratic Party stand up and say, wait a minute now. Now these are issues you can fight for. Because these are issues that the American people can get behind. And what you have to do if you're the Democratic Party is be center thinking, as in center left. Prioritize the economy. Prioritize national security. Prioritize foreign relations. And forget all that other stuff.
Hey, Stephen A. Smith. Okay, once again, I tried to let you just go on, but it's so frustrating because first off, hey, guess what? We are grown, okay? So when it comes to having these conversations, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. We can talk about trans rights and also talk about the economy. We can talk about marginalized people being demonized and possibly, which we already know, getting their rights stripped away, and talk about the broader rights of all Americans. Hey, guess what? We can do that. It's not one or the other. Because honestly, if you really get into the details, which I know you don't like to, one always affects the other. So essentially, when you get down to the details, you're going to have to talk about the other. It all works together. And you know how I know that? Reading history books. You see how expensive that shirt look? But he can't buy not one damn history book. Anyone, pick anyone of American history. You might accidentally learn something. Oh, man, my blood pressure, is already, you know what I'm saying? It's all...
We got battles in this country that we have to fight. Why am I giving this advice? Because some of y'all have walked around trying to castigate people like me.
Oh, really?
Let me remind you of who the hell I am. Okay? I am a registered independent.
Hey, first off, he almost, hey, check this out. I don't watch this already, okay? I don't already watch this part. He almost fooled me again. He almost did. I am a registered independent. No, hey, I'm sorry. Nobody who's been in politics for a little bit believes you. Hell, if you an independent, I'm the reincarnation of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King into one. I mean, since we just throwing out terms just for the hell of it, and just assuming people don't have no ideas what the hell words mean. Hey, you could be whatever you want. I'm an astronaut. Hey, Neil deGrasse Tyson needs to be learning from me because I'm an astrophysicist, okay? I done went to the schools. I got the knowledge. I mean, since we just throwing around terms like they don't mean nothing, Stephen A. Smith, hey, be quiet. You're losing that battle. Nobody believes you. But but let's go to the next, because then he's gonna rant about like, oh, I'm an independent, you know, blah blah. I'm an independent. Hey, no one cares, okay? Because your words, your actions, the defenses that you always want to throw out there say differently. It says differently. So, but you know, okay, got you.
Candidate for the country to win. That cannot happen. That can't happen if you have no voice and you have no face for your party. I doubt I'll ever run. It's not me. I live a pretty good life, and I don't want to ruin it by getting involved in politics. But I got to tell y'all something. The Democratic Party looks so pathetic after this election. I might entertain running. I just might change my mind one day. I doubt it, but I might. Because how much would it take to beat y'all?
Okay, hey, okay. Now, that's a weird statement on so many levels, but like let's just take the low hanging fruit here, okay? First off, with Trump winning and running and winning, it just incentivize anyone who makes a lot of money the feeling that they can be president. I'm sorry, Stephen A. Smith. Just because you talk about sports really good doesn't mean you even have a chance to manage 332 million people, give or take. No, I'm sorry. That's lying to yourself. And then you say the bar for the leaders within the Democratic Party is so low that you could beat them. I mean, that's not making you look good. Oh, the bar's so low, even I can win. Like, well, that means that you're able to step over a low bar. So, I mean, cool. Congratulations. That doesn't mean nothing. If the Democratic Party is lacking leadership, which essentially the moderates are, because I'm a progressive, we got plenty of strong leaders that could take this party over and do something great with it. Those are two different things. But you're looking at the moderates, the ones that seem to not be able to stop tripping over their own shoelaces. If you want to compete with them, go for it. I don't care. That's a losing cause already. And the Democratic voters, hey, we see that. That's why we ain't messing with them. That's why a majority of Democratic voters stayed home, because they didn't want to continue messing with a losing squad. They want progressives to run the party. But he's just, oh man, I could run for president. I mean, the bar is so low. Hey, for your party, for your sect of the Democratic Party, you couldn't last 2 days as a real progressive. You don't got the spine for that, homie. I'm just saying. I'm just being honest.
And Trump can't run again. He's done. Regardless of what some representatives want, a third term for him, kissing his ass at every turn. Will you do your job, please? Do your job. He been back in office for 2 weeks, and you got one representative calling for him to get a third term, and you got another representative talking about him being put on Mount Rushmore. Will you do your damn job? Is that too hard? Just do your job.
Hey, they're doing their job. That's their job, is to ass kiss. Steven. Hey, can I call you Smith? Stephen A. Smith. That is their job. What do you talk? You think they're actually creating legislation to actually help the American citizens? No. Hey, once again, welcome to politics of 2025. Come on, man. Damn.
Look at our country. Look at the state it's in. Understand what policies may work and what might not work. What's to the best interest or what's to the detriment of the country, and make that damn decision. Is it really that hard? Do you have to get on your knees and kiss his ass at every turn?
Hey, you've been doing it? Okay. Hey, okay, I'm gonna stop pausing it so much, okay? But it's just every syllable he says is infuriating, okay? He's talking about other people kissing ass. That's all you've been doing the past couple months. It's kissing the ass. Okay, let's go.
Did you see the crash after it happened? And Trump handed it over to one of the aviation executives. I forget his name or his title for the moment. Don't matter. Every other word he was saying, I want to thank Donald Trump. I want to thank Donald Trump. I want to thank Donald Trump. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your... Shut the hell up and do your job. How much ass kissing must y'all do before your breath starts smelling like shit? I mean, come on.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying, hey, Stephen A. Smith. Bro, we smell yours through the screen, bro. That's how potent your is. That's how potent your breath is. We smell it through the screen, brother. Through the digital airwaves, we smelling it. So who are you to talk about the plank in someone else's eye and you got a plank in yours? I'm just saying, hey, okay. All right.
Come on. It's ridiculous. Just do your job. Do your job. If you Trump, that means you too.
Uh-oh. Now here, okay, all that. Here's the important part right here. This is where he seems to forget or not want to believe who Trump has shown us to be. After 2 weeks of all this BS, he still has the nerve to say this. Listen.
Swing voters got you elected, my man. And they got you elected because they couldn't vote for Kamala Harris. But you promised them to address inflation. You promised them to address our borders. You promised them to address national security. You promised a thriving economy. You promised peace in the streets. If your actions are to lean on DEI every chance you get to point out some supposed discrepancy between white individuals and minorities who got jobs as it pertains to their qualifications and their intellect and their resume and their accomplishments, you don't think that's going to compromise peace? You don't think that's going to create chaos?
Stephen A. Smith, hey, what are you doing? What are you saying? He promised? He promised? Are you really like that high school girl that was like, but he promised that he will be with me forever. He promised me. Look at the promise ring he gave me. Is that all you're basing Trump's administration and his future actions off of promises? What did Humankind say in his one song, Big Dogs? He said the only promises is that promises are broken. Something like that. I know I messed that up. Hey, it's just right off top of the dome right now. That's the only promises you better be expecting is promises can be broken. Why are we acting so brand new? I see it. I mean, I know you painting your stuff, but I know that you got some gray hairs. You've been around the block a few times. Why are we acting so brand new here? You promised, Trump. You promised that you would unite Americans. You promised you would focus on the economy. What proof throughout Trump's history, political history, do you have of him doing that? That is the question. Promises? What are we What are we in middle school? Promises. Man, you better take those promises and see if you can cash them at a bank or something.
That's going to compromise peace? You don't think that's going to create chaos? Be careful, Mr. Trump. Be careful, President Trump. Be careful. Society is only as strong as its weakest links. You alienate folks. There's a price that's going to be paid for that.
He's been alienating people his whole entire political career. What are you talking about? Okay, hey, guess what, man? My Apple Watch is telling me that my blood pressure is too high, okay? Like, I can't continue. I can't continue with the BS. People are acting so brand new here. If a snake tells you first off, if he's talking to you, something's already wrong, okay? But if a snake is telling you he slithers on his stomach, okay, and he eats frogs for dinner, and you're a frog, hey, how you doing, Mr. Frog? Why would you expect anything different? I mean, maybe Stephen A. Smith done got the bag, you know what I'm saying? We know his contract, and maybe he just wanted Trump in office to do those tax cuts, and now he's gonna try to sing a different tune here. I don't know what the situation is, but it's weird that people are having amnesia all of a sudden. They forgot what he done said during his whole 4-year campaigning. He's been saying the same craziness forever, and you have the audacity to say, keep your promises? I'm sorry, Stephen A. Smith. Hey, we don't want you over here. I'm sorry. I'm a progressive within this Democratic Party. I don't even want you in this party. You're going to taint this party even more than what we already have to deal with. Do not bring that over here. We don't want you. You're an independent, right? Run as an independent. Democrats, we don't want you over here. I'm sorry. That's simple. But once again, guys, hey, thank you for watching. If you made it this far in the video, let me know in the comments. I want to say thank you to all you beautiful people. If you agree or disagree with anything I said in this video, let me know in the comments down below, or hit that Discord button so me and you can have that one-on-one talk. And like always, let's have that conversation.